If you don't like Westerns, you're wrong. There, I said it. That's end of discussion. The romanticized Old West is such an interesting subject that it's literally been in all mediums. And honestly, if you don't like Westerns, you don't like movies. So I love Westerns. The Man with No Name trilogy, Magnificent Seven, The Searchers, Outlaw Josie Wales, The Quick and the Dead, Back to the Future 3, The Good Dinosaur. I mean, one of my favorite video games of all time is Red Dead Redemption. Amazing game. I love being immersed in that world. I also love tile laying and city type building. So I guess on the show, we'll talk about a game that ties that all together. Saloon Tycoon is a tile building game for 2 to 4 players, set in the Old West, designed by Robert Couch and published by Ryder Games. In the game, players are small business owners with a plot of land in a gold rush town, and you're trying to build the biggest and best business in town. As you're building a saloon, it works mostly like any tile laying city builders. But in this game, you also build up, adding floors and finally a roof as you supply your thriving business with goods. Now, a couple of things happen while you're building, including gaining reputation points, gaining bonuses, and increasing your income. You can also gain additional actions, when in this game is pretty important because on your turn you only get one action, so planning is key, and a lot of the game is figuring out how to build certain tiles or play certain cards to combo off each other so that you get additional things to do and additional actions on your turn. So the first thing you do on a turn is collect your income, which is equal to the number of tiles you have built. In the beginning, you start with a basic saloon tile, so you start with 1 income. Then you take 1 action. Action includes gaining 2 gold, drawing or playing tycoon cards, and building tiles. To build a tile, there are a couple of rules you have to follow, but here are the important ones. You have to have enough gold for the tile that you build and the plot of land that you're going to put on it. The tile has to be adjacent to a tile you've already built or on top of a finished tile. What a finished tile means is a tile you have placed has all of its spots for supply cubes filled. Thematically, this means that all the supplies that you'll need to run your business has been ordered and delivered to the establishment, and that way you can service customers. Buying supply cubes is a free action you can do anytime during your turn, and bought at a rate of 2 gold each. Those cubes are taken from a common supply that actually work as a timer to trigger the end of the game. Mechanically, it's how you physically stack your tiles to build up your buildings. It's actually pretty clever. Finishing a tile is also how you gain certain bonuses like extra gold and additional actions. And if you can plan it right, these can make for some really big turns that can make you pull ahead in reputation and income. This game is about kind of planning for big turns. You're trying to set yourself up so you do a turn where you can do as many things as you possibly can. And of course, building tiles also gives you more reputation. So 7 points for large tiles, 5 for small ones. Additionally, some tiles have some prerequisites before you build them, but they have like a thematic sound logic tied to them as you want to build them. So like, if you want to build a brothel, you have to build a guest room. Wink at camera. So you're building all this reputation, which comes with both its benefits and its drawbacks. Yes, it's points at the end of the game, but based on certain things, your reputation also attracts certain characters. And when they show up at your fine establishment, it could be either a benefit to you or a detriment. Building certain tiles or game effects will attract these characters to your saloon. Some of them are citizens that are worth reputation at the end of the game. Some of them are no good, dirty outlaws, and they do something negative to you, like making you discard a card when you want to play it, or making supply cubes cost more gold. Luckily, one of the actions you can do on your turn is actually to bribe a character. You pay 6 gold to move 1 character from any saloon to another saloon. So you can try to get characters away from yours, move ones that you want from other people's to yours, or even if you have enough players in the game, make a criminal over here, go to the player over here, and totally ruin their day. I haven't even talked about the secret and open claim cards. Secret claims are secret goals that only you can complete. You get a few of these at the beginning of the game, you get to choose which one you want. Open claims are out during the course of the game, and any player can stake them. Most of the time they involve building certain combinations of tiles or having specific characters in your saloon. The game ends when all the supply cubes are gone from the supply. Everyone gets 1 more turn, but now you're not allowed to bribe citizens. And the cowpoke with the most reputation at the end wins the game. So the game It mixes a lot of neat mechanics that I like, but all of them are held together thematically in a way that's pretty satisfying. The claim cards add a level of tension as you quietly decide like which one you're going to go after, and then you'll start building some up, and then you start to figure out that the other player might be going after the same thing, so then it becomes kind of a race, and you want to make sure that you get that before they do. And the character cards, they really add a lot to the gameplay and to the theme. And with the bribe option, it kind of adds a little bit of light take that kind of gameplay. But watching them move around is actually it's pretty entertaining. And honestly, the characters really help breathe life into the theme and really make the game feel like the Old West. I mean, it's cutthroat. It can be a little cutthroat. It's not overly cutthroat, but it's just enough to kind of give that feeling. And all these things help you with how you make decisions in the game as well. You know, it never feels like, well, I guess I'll do this action because I can. You always kind of have a direction or a strategy you're trying to build up or go after. But that also means if you get hung up on a certain path, like, be prepared, because by the time it gets back to you, you might not be able to execute it. Luckily, downtime isn't much of an issue because turns are usually pretty quick, especially in the beginning. And the times that you do get to perfectly execute like a turn you had planned, and you get to combo a bunch of cards, or you buy this and then you get to do that, it's super satisfying and really fun. Now, even though I like the way that the game adds some player interaction with the claims and the characters, it makes it that I probably wouldn't play this with less than 3. Cards would just be going kind of back and forth between the 2 players. Like, there are less players to attract the outlaws, and I feel like if you're playing with 2 and you end up being the one, like, they have like 1 outlaw and you have 3 or 4, it could be pretty not fun. My other kind of minor gripe is the gold pieces. Like, they look great and they're really cool visually, and they kind of add some stuff. I mean, it's fun. They're fun to, to fondle. But because of how short the turns are and the way you get when you get income at the beginning of every one of your turns, and then you usually know what you're going to pay for. So it's like you either have to do the math in your head and go, no, just give me this much because I'm not going to spend it right away, and then someone's got to play the banker the entire time, which isn't, unless you're an accounting nerd like Ben Wyatt, usually isn't the most fun. So honestly, I would have been fine with them just doing like a separate like wealth track or even like dials or something. It wouldn't be as pretty, but it'd be a little more streamlined. Overall though, I'm happy to have this in my collection. And the best part is after you're done, you have these really kind of neat Western buildings, and they kind of look like a dexterity game.